And now, without any further ado, to get things moving right along, quick, loose, and fancy-free, Hollywood, I'm ready. Is it ready for me? Marc, Desmond!
I have one thing to say to you. Do not bring up Rilke to me. I've read Rilke. He wrote these letters to a young poet, and they were collected in a book called Letters to a Young Poet. That's the high creative end of the profession. I read these letters, and he told the young poet to go off, like, into the wilderness or something. It's I think a fort on the border of something and something where he could be alone with things, you know. Right. Well, personally, I read that and it freaked me completely out because I have been camping. I'm a city boy. I find it difficult enough to identify with the human race when it's all around me. So I read this book, and then, there it is, I wrote a poem called All Alone. Just beyond the reach of my campfire, the great things prowl. All I can see of them is the occasional splinter of light thrown back at me from spit-shined fur. It seems they have no eyes and will not know me when they find me. Rilke, if you lived in my house, you'd want to be married to someone with a constant presence and a love of open windows. All those rooms littered with melting clocks and candy rockers, occupied by a belligerent dust that finally crowded me out into the world. I walked the streets until walking made the city seem cramped and home a rusty-hinged coffin of desire. And I walked through crowds, walked among the angels of metal, girls with hair the color of tomorrow, and boys armored in totems and soft leather, burrowed frantically through layers of nightlife as they peeled away hour by hour till only the inspired and the desperate were left. I swam through air pungent with the sweat of taut strings and drum pads and traded black market insights with the secret identities of waitresses and bookstore clerks. And I kept walking until I stumbled over the universe in the eyes of a woman, the tide roaring in my ears when she spoke, the sun glowing gently beneath her skin, truth rising from her like steam, her fingertips streaking my body with passion, her wisdom leaking into me as we touched, mercy sliding down my throat and home taking me in. We ran from street lamp to shadow in the midnight city, laughing in sheer joy at our adventurous selves, and for the first time, I embraced happiness. But you told me that I didn't really know what I had, and that without this knowledge I had nothing at all. Let it be an opportunity, you said. Leave this superficial life and go alone to where the great things hide. And after that, it seemed I could feel your words in the sandpaper wind, stitch them together from passing scraps of conversation, see them floating on the surface of her eyes until even her kisses tasted gray. So I forced myself out of my bed, filled my pockets with everything I knew, and went on the road again, looking for the blind spot on the map. And all the things I knew wore holes in my pockets, so with every step there was the chance that something would slither down my leg and disappear. And when my pockets were empty, I sat down and built this fire, and I cursed your name. I cursed your faraway face. I cursed the memories you left for me to find. I cursed your kindness, and I cursed the dark. And the great things hurt me. They didn't care. The great things of this empty world are wind and water, sun, blossom, seed, and earth. The thing I left behind was love. And, I thought I had a certain poem with me, and it turns out I haven't put it in the book yet, so let's why don't I do something for the book? Gee, I haven't done that in weeks. Now there aren't enough strangers here.
You're a stranger than you think.
Yes. But unless you left your memory in the park, I don't want to do this to you again. Okay. A couple of very short pieces I never read because they're very short. Amphibian aphorism. The problem of being a big frog in a small pond isn't that you're really not so big after all, but basically that even if you do swell up to gargantuan proportions, you're still just a goddamn frog. Be gentle. Wind and fire sing to one another. The moon stands sentry outside. I watch your ivy fingers climb the white ceramic of a coffee mug, drinking in its warmth. With a moistened fingertip, you pick up one by one the grains of sugar we spilled and kiss them one by one, making their sweetness part of you. Something cracks soundlessly inside me, and I lean forward just a bit, drawing away from memory and that much closer to you. Like a mist that softens the torn and broken rocks, your lips settle onto mine. Be gentle, baby. Pretend that I deserve you. And I'll end with something I'm never actually sure whether it was finished. I always somehow thought it should be an epic, but instead it came out like this, called I Clench My Weeping Fists. And unfortunately, it's based on a true story. There was never exactly a time when you turned to me, eyes like saucers of dark coffee, and said, "Please don't hate me, but I'd rather be beaten than stay in your arms." You were just gone. Now I see you wearing his brand on your cheek again, and I clench my weeping fists and pray that one day I might be cruel enough for you to love me.
Marc, thank you.